Hi guys, my name's Cameron. I am the owner and content creator for WolfcryGaming. I recently posted my new gaming room after I finished construction this week on my Instagram and on a couple of Facebook groups, and I had a few people making a request that I make a video and do a longer walkthrough of my room, which I thought was really nice. As a collector, I'm happy to talk about my collection for hours. So I thought I'd give you a bit of a background before I do so. In the middle of the year, my wife and I moved into a house that we bought. The house that we bought ticked all of our boxes, but didn't have space for all of my collection. Before this, we were renting, and it had a second living room, and I was able to display most of my games and controllers, as anyone who's been following me for a while knows. But as we moved, this house is a little bit smaller and didn't have anywhere to display my stuff. So fortunately, there was a very, very large garage workshop on the property, and we decided that we'd convert that into the gaming room. So in August, we had some construction working start, and they basically worked every day for 2.5 weeks, insulating, framing, gyprocking, wiring, doing all that stuff to finish my gaming room. 2.5 weeks of work was all it took. It was done. And then over the last maybe 2.5 weeks myself, I've been building furniture and moving everything and getting everything ready for the reveal. The majority of the stuff is done now. There's still a few small things I need to do, which I'll point out as I go. And there'll be obviously updated posts as I add to this room. But the majority is done and my collection is now on display. So if you bear with me, I'll turn you around and take you through the den, starting with the Xbox Original collection behind me. All right, so my Xbox Original collection is about just over 400 games. Off the top of my head, I can't remember the exact number, but I know there's in between 700 and 800 PAL Xbox games, and then about 1,000, give or take, once you start adding in other regions like Japan and the US as well. I've got, as I said, just over 400, ranging from your common sports titles to some of your rarer titles. Some of my absolute gems are Castlevania Curse of Darkness. That was sent to me by a person in a Facebook group in the UK, I believe. That's a rare one. He actually sent it to me in a collector's case as well to make sure it was protected. I've got other rarer games like Enclave is starting to get to be a bit of a rarer one. Gun Valkyrie is also starting to get to be a bit of a rarer one. And then obviously your bigger titles that are still expensive, standard Jet Set Radio Future, and I have down here the Australian rated edition of Manhunt, which makes it much rarer as the Australian edition was recalled within 2 weeks of release, so finding one with an Australian rating on it is quite rare. Still remains one of the only games to be absolutely banned and recalled and never allowed for sale in Australia, so I'm really happy with that. As we move on, at the top, it's just a couple of cool little things I've picked up over the years. These are the Hyperkin Duke controllers they released for the 20th anniversary of Xbox. There are a couple of other Hyperkin Duke controllers I'm trying to get, but I did actually miss the retail release window on them, so now I'm just trying to find someone who's actually selling them for a decent price. This is an Xbox bag that I found at the Gamer Market. It's made by Lynx, so obviously something to do with the Lynx collaboration with Xbox. I think it's some sort of cooler or lunchbox bag because it's got insulation in it, but I could be wrong. Anyone who actually knows what it is, let me know. But for now, it's just up on the shelf as a cool little collector's piece. As we move across, 360 is my largest collection so far. I've just got over 900 titles, all individual titles. I don't have any doubles aside from the US and Australian release of Soldier of Fortune. Every game I've got is an individual single game. Eventually I'm going to start adding in some games that have separate achievement stacks, like Japanese titles. There are also some Japanese games I do obviously want to get for my collection, striving for a full PAL and region collection later on in life as I keep going. Above the 360 collection, I've got the Hyperkin 360 controllers they just did, the Xenons. I still need to order the two new ones, the Cosmic colors I think they're called. But these are the 4 base colors they released. I actually had to buy them off Amazon US because no one in Australia wanted to get them for me. This is the Dead Rising 2 statue from the Outbreak edition. I got that from Cash Converters, believe it or not. So I was really happy when I picked that up. Over here, we've just got a couple of sealed things. I've got the BioShock Xbox 360 faceplate, back when the 360 used to do interchangeable faceplates, as well as the box for the collector's edition, the statue I will show you after. A couple of sealed controllers and a sealed Xbox Live Vision as well. As we move on, this is the Xbox One, Xbox Series X collection. This is my second largest collection at getting close to 700 games for the Xbox One, Xbox 360, Xbox One, Xbox Series X. It's a combination of both. As you can see, lots of the Xbox One titles, but then we've got the Xbox Series X releases that have the taller spines, and then the later Series X releases that have the half spine with a little bit of green at top to make it look more Xbox One-y. I keep buying games for the Xbox One as they keep releasing them. I'm trying to keep up as best I can. Australia is pretty lazy when it comes to getting most of the releases for Xbox. There's a lot that I do need to import from the UK and the US, unfortunately. So places like Amazon and Oz Game Shop get a bit of my business as I buy the games that Australia just refuses to get. Over here is what I have dubbed the everything other than Xbox shelf. A lot of the games in here are actually just games that have been given to me or that I had when I was a kid. Most of the PS1 games, I haven't bought a single PS1 game aside from the Spyro games and I think a couple of the Tomb Raiders. Everything else was actually given to me by a customer at EB Games who was actually getting rid of his collection and just basically gave them to us. Same as the PS2 games. They're actually mostly my games from when I was a kid. Aside from a few that again have been given to me by friends or I've picked up as I've gone. As an example, Darkwatch was a game that me and one of my best mates absolutely loved. I would always borrow it from him, so I ended up buying my own copy only recently. And I've got it on the Xbox original as well because I do love that game. Following on from there, same as the PlayStation 3, most of them have sort of been picked up in bundles as I've been going. I was actively trying to collect just the PlayStation exclusive games, but as I've picked up bundles and people have given me things, I've accumulated a lot more than just the exclusives. The PSP and the PS Vita games are actually mine. I very much love the PSP and the PS Vita. I do actively buy games for the Vita as I find them. Just because I think it's a great little console and I think it was extremely underrated and obviously didn't do well in Western markets, but as a handheld console, it is a great little device. PS4, these were games that I picked up sort of just the exclusives, and then Xbox started getting some of the exclusives, so I didn't really need to be playing them. I was playing Yakuza, but then Xbox got Yakuza finally, so I play them on Xbox now. Same as Kingdom Hearts. I was playing Kingdom Hearts on the PlayStation, but then Xbox finally got access to Kingdom Hearts, so now I play that on Xbox as well. One of my gems on the PlayStation though is Godzilla. That is an absolute steal for me. I don't know much about PlayStation collecting, obviously, but when I saw that for sale, I knew I had to grab it because I know that that is one of the gems. So, yeah, moving on. This is the sort of statue display wall that I've set up. Up here for now, I've put a bunch of my sealed pops. I'm going to move them eventually because this is where I want the Biomutant Collector's Edition to sit. Unfortunately, the Biomutant Collector's Edition was a fatality in my move. I'm currently doing the best I can to fix it and glue it and solder it together basically, but I don't know, it's looking like I might need to replace it. But When I've got that back up and running, it'll sit at the top there as another large statue. Obviously that's the Halo statue. Moving down, I've got the Vault 101 bobblehead set from Gaming Heads, along with a couple of Fallout Pops and a Nuka-Cola Quantum that was given to EB Games employees during the Fallout 76 launch, as well as a can of Flaming Moes at the back there, because I'm a Simpsons fan and I thought that was funny that there's an energy drink called the Flaming Moe. Below that, I was actively trying to collect every Rick and Morty pop figure, but gave up because they were bringing out so many and lots of exclusives to Comic-Con, and I just couldn't keep up, unfortunately. So I've got a decent collection, but nowhere near as much as some other people. Below them is just miscellaneous pop figures. I've got the Bob's Burgers, Crash Bandicoot, Mass Effect, Gears of War, all that type of stuff as well. As we move on the top shelf are all the bigger statues that won't fit in these cabinets, starting with Death from Darksiders. That's a first 4 figures statue, absolutely gorgeous design. Same as War. War was actually given to me by my wife as a wedding present. She knows I'm a Darksiders fan through and through, so she got me that as a wedding present. And then this year I bought Death to join in. I've also got on pre-order with first 4 figures the 2 busts for for Death and Strife that they're doing. And I'll be ordering the bookends as well because I love Darksiders and that is my jam. This is one of the first large collector's editions I ever bought. It was Titanfall 1. I remember when they announced it, I didn't have the money in my account, so I begged my parents to put down the deposit and I paid them back as soon as I got my next paycheck. Unfortunately, the fella at the back fell off, so I've just got him sort of propped up. I've been trying to figure out how to glue him back on, but super glue does not want to take to this bloke, so at the moment he's just chilling at the back. Other than that, statue's still in perfect condition. The batteries are still the same that come in the statue and they still work. He still lights up. Titanfall was one of my favorite series. I love the first one, I love the second one, so getting collector's editions was something that I wanted to do. Horizon statues, I've got the Thunderjaw and I can't remember what these things are called. I'm just going to call it the Mammoth. The Mammoth, really happy with them. Horizon is one of the PlayStation series that I absolutely love. I'm a big fan of dinosaurs, and when you add them to robots, it's a no-brainer for me. Edward Kenway at the back there, he won't fit in the cabinets, unfortunately. Moving on, we've got the 2 Destroy All Humans collector's editions, the Crypto from the first game and the Crypto from the second game. The first one did actually release in Australia, so I was able to get that from an Australian retailer, but the second one I had to order from the THQ website, which I was fine with, except there were shipping delays, so I didn't actually get this until about a month and a half after the game released. But to make up for it, THQ actually sent me a free code, so I'd already played and full gamer scored Destroy All Humans 2 before I even got the statue, but that's fine. He's awesome, and I'm very happy with him in my collection. Behind him is the Terrorbilly figure from Wolfenstein, along with a limited edition Wolfenstein whistle, which is a little bit contentious, but whatever, I'll take it. Moving on, in these sort of 4 cabinets in the middle, it's just various gaming statues. I've tried to sort of keep them in their runs, but Ubisoft sort of dominates the statue market, so there's a lot more Ubisoft statues spread around than anything else. I originally planned on this being a Darksiders like memorial or whatever you want to call it, Darksiders shrine, but as I started to fill more and more of the shelves up, I realized I didn't have the luxury of not filling these up, so I've got some Crash and Spyro figures in there, as well as Sam Fisher from Splinter Cell Conviction at the back. This is some of the limited edition cases that I've got, obviously starting with the Constellation edition from Starfield. Then we've got Fallout 4 with the Fallout 76 canvas pack on top. Beneath that is the Hitman 2 case edition, and then we've got the Red Dead Redemption collector's box with, looks like that's a Fallout 76 thing that's fallen, so I have to move that in a minute. As we move along, these last 2 shelves are my Batman shelves. I'm a big Batman fan, so I've got Batman statues from both the games and the movies. These are the Batman 2022 statues. Then we've got Dark Knight, Injustice, more Dark Knight, and more of the Arkham series, and Gotham Knights, Injustice, anything with a Batman statue I'll buy. As I said, I'm a big Batman fan, so I'm happy to have them in my collection as well. That's the mini fridge. Still figuring out where I need to put that one, so it will go somewhere eventually. I don't think I'll plug it in because I know they burn out pretty quick, so it's more of a collector's piece than anything, but for now I've just put it there so I can remind myself to do something with it. As we move on, we start to look at the consoles. I've put the boxes for the consoles and accessories that I do have above the shelving for now. I might change that later, but for now that's how it's sort of set out. We start with the original Xbox original Duke console in the black, then we move on to the Xbox original Slim with the Slim controller, and then I've got a crystal Xbox original as well with that crystal controller. I am still hunting a couple of the Halo consoles. Starting to get a bit hard to find ones that haven't been modded and have you know, hard drives full of games on them. I much prefer to get factory originals, so I'm trying my best to get the Halo Green and the Halo Blue if I could get one as well. Then we start with the 360 collection. These are just your two sort of standard releases. We've got the Xbox 360 Pro and the Xbox 360 Elite. I still am hunting an Xbox 360 Core Arcade version, but these are the two standards I've got at the moment. Then we move on to the Xbox 360 Halo Edition. It's the Halo 3 Edition. Resident Evil Edition down there. Modern Warfare 2 Edition. This may look just like another standard Xbox 360 white, but this is actually the Xbox 360 Final Fantasy Edition. It's essentially a white Xbox, but it does say Final Fantasy on the hard drive. So that's what makes it a limited edition console, sorry. Then underneath we've got the Halo Reach Xbox Slim, the Gears of War Slim, the Modern Warfare 3 Slim, the Star Wars Slim, the Halo 4 Slim with the UNSC controller. I'm currently hunting the proper controller that goes with this console, but for now I've got this, so I've just paired them together. And then we've got the blue Xbox 360E. And then here I've got the Caliber 11 cases. Now these are protective cases that a company called Caliber 11 made for the Xbox 360 Slim models. So in these models I've got the different edition Slims in their cases. So this is the Battlefield 3 Caliber 11 case with the gloss white Xbox Slim. On the side of this Battlefield 3 case, it's got a claymore and a smoke grenade, and then a hook to hang your controller or headset from as well. Coming across, I've got the gloss black 360 Slim in the Mass Effect case. The Mass Effect case has the Mass Effect N7 chest piece on the side, and again, as well as a controller stand or headset hanger on the side as well. And then I've got the matte black Gears of War, the matte black console in the Gears of War Caliber 11 case, which has the Crimson Skull on the side and a controller / headset hanging hook as well. And then we move on to the Xbox One collection. That's the Quantum Break / Sunset Overdrive white console. And then we move on to the Call of Duty Advanced Warfare console, the Forza Motorsport console, the Halo 5 console, Gears of War 4, Battlefield 1, I believe, was the Army Green. This is the gaming station. I did buy a brand new TV for the room, making sure it's got a HDMI 2.1 input and runs 120 Hz, so I can actually run the Series X with full ticks rather than half of them. I needed a bigger TV for a bigger room, so that's why I upgraded. As we move across, people may notice that that's actually my gamer picture and profile picture on Instagram. My wife actually had this custom drawn for us for Christmas. I'm a big Bob's Burgers fan, and as a joke, we call my burgers that I make, we call them can burgers. So she contacted a custom artist who drew us in the Bob's Burgers fashion. They actually went to the detail of copying my tattoos and putting them on him as well, which I thought was really cool. As we move on, that's the Storm Grey. That was also a Battlefield limited edition console, along with the Ocean Blue, which was actually another Gears of War 4 limited edition console. That's obviously Minecraft, so I'll give you a guess what game come with that one. This is the Fortnite bundle. I personally do not like Fortnite, but I love purple, so I really like this console. It's probably one of my favorites, to be honest, aside from the Gears of War consoles, which have a very special place for me. This is the Project Scorpio console. This was actually my go-to Xbox until the Series X came out. So this, that was the first Xbox One X I bought, and that was the one I actually used. So the controller and the console are now on display, and will stay there. The Gold Rush console, I bought this second hand, so it didn't come with the controller it was meant to. It come with a orange and green controller. So I'm still hunting the proper controller to go with it, but for now I've got the console, and that's the thing that mattered to me. The NBA 2K20 Hyperspace Xbox One X, really simple design, but I love it. I think it's a great design. I like the simple stuff, so just the purple buttons with the spattered D-pad to match the console, I think is really cool. And then we've got the Gears of War 5 Xbox One X, and then we've got the Cyberpunk Xbox One X as well. And then beneath it is the only limited edition console they've done so far for the Xbox Series X, and that was the Halo Infinite console they released. Then we move on to the wall of controllers. These are essentially all the controllers that don't have a corresponding console. Various 360 ones, from the Fable to the McFarlane Toys Halo to the Tomb Raider controllers, and then you move on to the Xbox One controllers. That's the day one there, not that you can see it too well, but that's the day one. And then you move through the line. I've tried to put them in runs, so that's the Series 1 controller. Then we move on to the Series 2 controllers, and then you move on to the Series X controllers. I haven't put them in release date order because that would just take too much time, but they are in their series runs. Coming down here, some of the ones that people ask me about because they haven't seen them before. That one there is one of the Space Jam sets. So everyone knows the Toon Squad, the Goon Squad, and the Serververse ones because they were available widely for retail release. But this is another Space Jam one that come with the LeBron James sneakers. It only come with the sneakers. So I heard people ask me about that one in the past. People have also asked me about these. These are the 5 Design Lab designs for Redfall. I bought one of each. I just kept them stock standard as designed by Design Lab. I didn't change anything. The last couple of controllers I've got here are actually just custom controllers from a local seller called We Are Robots. He made this Starfield one, a Doom one, a Mass Effect one, and a Fallout one, and I decided to buy them from him. Up here are my 2 gem controllers, the XO19 and the Pizza Hut controller. I've actually got a couple more of these like rare gem controllers on order at the moment. I'll be doing a post for them when they arrive. Essentially they're more of these like really limited edition controllers that I've managed to find and purchase. Then we move on to the Elites. I've got every Elite controller aside from the core the core blue and red. But I've got the white and the black Series 1. I've got the Forza Elite controller and the Gears of War Elite controller. I've got the Halo Infinite, standard black, the white core, and the carry case. I'm just about to pick up over the next few weeks the blue and the red, as well as the Astral Purple to be added to the color scheme as well. Lucille from Walking Dead will be mounted on this wall at some point when I get around to doing it. I've got some Gears of War Lancers and a Fallout Plasma Rifle I want to mount up here. People who saw my old gaming room know I've got about 5 helmets from various games. I'll be mounting them above the TV if they fit. I've got some wall mounts that I've had 3D printed for me. So I'm hoping that all 5 of the helmets will fit snugly in between those 2 beams above my TV to fill that gap above the TV. As we come over, This is some EB Games memorabilia I was given for my work in the company the last couple of years. They gave me a Buck Bunny, a pair of EB Games branded shoes, and a jacket that's way too big for me. It's a 3XL for some reason. It's a 5XL. I don't know why they gave me that big, but whatever. That's a piece of marketing from EB Games. I wanted that for my gaming room, so when we stopped using it, I did the diligent thing for the company and made sure it was destroyed in the proper manner. Same as this piece of marketing here. I made sure it went straight to a place to be destroyed, so it's just sitting here now. That's the Borderlands 3 loot chest on display. Next to that, we've got the Tony Hawk skateboard. A bunch of the Darksiders stuff that have come in the Darksiders collector's editions I've bought, along with the Biomutant stuff. That's a Rage wing stick from Rage on the 360. That's an Army of Two mask. And that is the Ragnarok Mjolnir hammer. As we come down, I've just got some other things on display, like my State of Decay 2 collector's edition and my Cyberpunk collector's edition. Some more EB Games memorabilia, my 5-year service pen with EB Games, as well as some of my level 5 EB Games member stuff, and some whiskey glasses. Crash Bandicoot memorabilia. There was a while there where anything with Crash Bandicoot I was buying due to the nostalgic excitement for the re-release they did. And these are some of the Tataku figures that I picked up as they've gone on sale, along with a bunch of my strategy guides and art books and stuff that I've picked up over the years as well. This is a box full of old cases and steel cases that I'm still figuring out how to display. I may find a way to display all my steel cases at some point. For now, they're just sort of in storage until I can figure out what to do with them. And that brings us back to the Xbox original. If you just bear with me, I'll turn you around. Just give me a second. Brilliant. So that's it, guys. I thank you very much for your interest. It's really nice that people have requested that I give you a walkthrough, and I'm happy to do it because, you know, I've spent the time and the money arranging this, and I think it's come up really, really well. The wall behind me is essentially, I'm keeping that blank for now. Like I said, I'll be mounting some stuff up there, and I'll be putting some posters up as well to make it look more personal rather than very corporate almost. But this is it, guys, and I thank you so much for your interest. I thank you so much for your support over the years as I've been making my content. I know I don't have a huge following, and I'm not in it for a huge following. I'm in it because this is what I want. I just want stuff, and if it's got the Xbox logo on it, I'll buy it. So thank you very much, guys, and have a great day.